FC group going?
Nous y sommes. Les terres désolées de l'Escar.
Oh, I said it to French? Whoops. Pretty sure I said it back to English after signing.
Quel vent! Vous m'entendez? Descendez tous! On continue à pied!
Oh man. Urban Ninja.
Ah, there you are. Between contending with bloodthirsty beasts and sand in my every conceivable place, I had begun to despair of finding you again.
Do you recognize the crashed ship over yonder? Mistress Alizé and I briefly inspected it. It is the vessel that bore Master Alphino away.
But there was no sign of him, nor of Maxima and his people.
War Machina. It would seem they were involved in a struggle. There may be clues. We should split up and search the area. These were no ordinary soldiers. Over here!
Empires leaving their soldiers behind, the fallen behind. Sloppy. Or as I should say,
The insignia on this man's uniform identifies him as one of the Emperor's personal guard. Hand-picked soldiers, answering only to the royal family.
That would explain why all the casualties are Garlean. They were fighting their own.
You're saying the Emperor was behind all this? That Alphino is his prisoner?
Jumping to conclusions there, Alizé.
Aye, we must not jump to conclusions. Besides, Alphino is more than capable of looking after himself, is he not?
I suggest we return to Doma to consider our options. Whatever happened here, Master Alphino is long gone, and any subsequent search may safely be left in the hands of the shinobi.
Where in the world are you, brother? If you die on me, I will never let you hear the end of it.
Forgive me. I need a moment. On present evidence, we have no reason to fear the worst. More than that, I cannot say. We are no closer to establishing Master Alphino's whereabouts, and the suggestion of an Imperial ploy only compounds matters. We have much to consider. Well, that wasn't decidedly an eventful journey. I almost found myself hoping for a sandstorm. Joking aside, it's our birds are due for a good brush down in a treat or two, wouldn't you? I had hoped to steal a moment's rest after our little outing, but it seemed duty calls. A foreign emissary arrived in my absence. Did not let us keep you then. Actually, I was wondering if you might join me. I cannot think of a guest who could fail to be impressed by the presence of the silence. At least, none I should be happy to receive. Of course, if you think it would be useful. Thank you. Let us return to my manor then.
Lise, what brings you here?
Oh, Alliance business. We have a request for Doma. Well, Ian. But that can wait. They told me you were out searching for Alphino. Did you manage to pick up his trail? Well, if he wasn't at the crash site, he might still have escaped. We have to keep searching.
And we will. Alphino embarked on this journey as an emissary of Dorma, and I hold myself responsible for his safe return. I will have our shinobi in the provinces search for him as a matter of urgency. Chin up, Alize. You'll get to admonish your brother for his recklessness yet.
Well, someone has to do it.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure he's going to be fine. There is one thing I'm not sure about, though. You said it was the Emperor's personal guard that attacked Alphino's airship. But the Popularis would never have been able to arrange the prisoner exchange without Varys' blessing. So why would he sabotage his own mission?
They may not have been acting on Varys' orders. The guard answer not only to him, but to his family, the Crown Prince included.
When Yotsuyu summoned Tsukuyomi, Asahi was quick to proclaim that a dormant citizen had violated the terms of our agreement, that the negotiations had failed. And it is this version of events that is now being repeated across Garlemald. To hear the tale, one would think the prisoner exchange never took place. Plainly, someone is manipulating matters from the shadows. Most likely Xenos, or whoever it is that wears his face.
Whichever Ascian you mean. We all know the nature of our adversary.
The servants of Chaos are true to their name. Their meddling has cost Dorma a chance at peace. Whoever it was that loosed his personal guard, the Emperor cannot be ignorant of these developments. We must proceed on the assumption that our treaty is indeed in tatters. But come, Lise. You have journeyed far. Let me hear your petition.
Right. So the big news is that Alamigo has agreed to join the Eorzean Alliance. To make it official and discuss where we all go from here, the leaders of the 5 nations are planning to hold a meeting, and we were hoping you might come too. We've already seen what we can achieve when we work together, and the Alliance hopes to work even more closely in future. They think it's our best hope of keeping the Garleans in check, and I agree.
As do I. By coordinating our efforts in the east and west, we may be able to discourage them from committing their forces to a single front. I accept your invitation. I must, however, ask for time to attend to some pressing matters here. In light of recent events, the risk of Imperial reprisals is greater than ever, and I would not leave Dorma unguarded. Ere I depart, I must shore up her defenses.
Understood. I'll let the Alliance know. We'll wait to hear from you before setting a date. The meeting's to be held at the Royal Palace in Alamigo, incidentally. Do you remember the way?
Well enough. Please assure my hosts that I will not keep them waiting any longer than I have to.
Consider it done. And thank you for agreeing to come. If we all put our heads together, we're sure to find the best way forward. For everyone.
Don't worry. Alphinaud's been through countless trials and come out stronger every time. He'll be back, I'm sure of it. Yet the Alliance would extend an invitation to Doma bespeaks the depth of their concern. Nor are they misguided. Garlemald has fallen under Ascian control. The threat we face is incalculable. Yugiri assures me that the task for searching is best left to her comrades. I shall trust to the experience and focus on what I can do. Well, we are happy to cooperate with the Eorzean Alliance. There are many things that Doma must do alone. My advisors and I will presently convene to discuss the matter of Doma's defenses. You are welcome to stay, of course. Had you not offered, I would have requested to leave to remain. Where their Ascians are concerned, then naught may be left to chance. As ever, we would benefit from your experience. I thank you for coming, Lise, even if it was on official business. I'd hoped there might be time to show you the land you helped save, but I will settle for a fleeting visit if needs must. There never does seem enough time for anything, does there? But I did get a chance to see a little of the Enclave. We made excellent progress, I must say. And soon you'll have the chance to see how we're getting along, too. Till the meeting, then. Sarah? I was wondering if I might have a word with you before I go, in private. Go on, my friend. I will send for Hakuru and the others in the meantime. Great, I'll wait for you at the docks. Thanks for coming. Knowing you probably guessed what I wanted to talk about. Alice, she's acting as if everything's alright, but she's barely holding it together. The Alice I know is overbearing, willful and reckless, and that's fine. It's how she deals with feeling weak. She has to keep moving or she's afraid she'll fall apart. A lot like me. But the thing about people like us is that we need someone to keep an eye on us. I had Papa Limo, and now I have my friends in the Resistance. And Alice has you in the Scions. Before you start, I'm not saying you're neglecting her. I'm sure you aren't. And I'm sure you won't. But she has a good friend, and when I see her like this, I can't help worrying. So please, make sure you give her all the support she needs, alright? Leave it to me. Thank you, Sarah. It goes without saying, but if there's anything I can do, you need only ask. Well, I'd best be off. See you now, let me go. We all had our suspicions at the start, but part of me was credulous enough to believe the Emperor's promises. Never again. The Imperial Court is a nest of vipers, and any piece they'll offer is laced with poison. I dare say I can guess the subject of your discussion with Lise. She too was never one for concealment. Fortunately for you, the individual in question seems none the wiser. Is everything alright with Lise? I won't ask for details. Do tell me if it were important. Your return is most timely. We have just surprised those newly arrived with the word Magistrate. Ah, there you are, my friend. Everyone has assembled, so let's begin.
If we are to ready ourselves for invasion, we shall need manpower, provisions, and time, all of which are in notably short supply.
Candid as ever, you giddy. And correct, I concede. Fortunately, I have an idea. 'Tis plain no single nation can stand against the might of the Empire. And it was only with the aid of others that Dorma succeeded in winning her freedom. So, I mean to take a leaf out of our Eorzean friends' book and form an alliance of our own. In addition to those with whom we already share an understanding, I would reach out to Hingashi and Tsunosato, and further afield to the myriad peoples of Nangsha and Dalmasca. I am under no illusion. Not all will answer the call. Yet disparate though we may be, we are united in our desire for freedom. If our neighbors could be made to see what is at stake, Ascian machinations and all, cooperation need not be so far-fetched a notion.
It may even seem practical. Under the guidance of our former leader, Master Louis Soir, we once strove to unite the fractious city-states of Eorzea. I dare say that experience shall be of use in your endeavor.
We should be glad of your wisdom.
For the record, I would have been in favor of this plan even if it hadn't been my grandfather's, but I have to ask, how will we secure the time to carry it out? Not that anyone has forgotten, but the Garleans have airships. Lots and lots of airships. Should they catch wind of our plan, they could send an armada to overwhelm us before our alliance had even begun to take shape.
Not if we deny them access to the skies. During our time in the Burn, the Warrior of Light and I chanced upon some Allagan ruins.
Oh?
As such ruins go, they were not particularly unusual. But something about the surrounding land struck me as odd. Faint though it was, its ethereal residue was uncannily similar to that of Azizlar. Identical, in fact. For locations so far removed to share a single etheric signature is all but impossible. I conclude, therefore, that the Allagans created the floating continent with land taken from the burn.
While that is a most intriguing theory, I fail to see what relevance it has to Dorma's defense.
Azizlar was enclosed in a powerful energy barrier, impenetrable even to an Agrius-class battleship. It occurred to me that those ruins may have enjoyed similar protection. I have no proof, but the Warrior of Light did report seeing a structure resembling other known Allagan field generators.
All right. But even if we could put up such an energy barrier, it surely wouldn't extend beyond the limits of the burn. So what's to stop the Garleans flying around it?
Fuel. The Dalmascan capital, Rabanasta, was a key Imperial refueling point in the east. By laying waste to it as a lesson to the rest, the Empire greatly hindered its own operations in the region.
Nice job breaking it, hero.
If an Imperial fleet were to advance upon Dorma, it would now have little choice but to travel, as the crow flies, over the burn.
I see.
A word of caution. Even assuming the generator still functions, raising a barrier of such a scale will require a prodigious amount of energy. And few places are so bereft of suitable crystals as the burn.
A source of energy. Tell me, did the Allagans make a habit of launching things into the sky?
A curious question. Besides Azizlar, I know of only one other notable instance. The Red Moon Dalamud, whose fall triggered the calamity.
Just the 2 occasions, you say? Then I believe I may have a solution to our energy problem.
You do?
I may. To find out for sure, we would need to visit the Azim Steppe. Which would, I now see, present the perfect opportunity to discuss an alliance with the Zayla tribes. How very neat. What say you then? Shall we see whither this road leads?
How convenient. In the field of atheology, the Azim Steppe remains an unbroken ground. Having missed your last expedition through injury, I mean to seize this opportunity with both hands. The Azim Steppe. I always wanted to see it. The reigning Ruby Princess was more receptive to the outside world than her predecessors, true. But we want is an invitation to war. Though I will plead our case, I fear we can expect little from Suino Sato. We have fought long and sacrificed much so we can have our freedom. I will die before I allow the Empire to take it from us again. It is settled then. I will journey to the Azim Steppe with the Scions. Yugiri and Hakuro. I will leave our other neighbors to you. My apologies, but I won't be joining you. I am no etherologist, and what skills I do possess are unlikely to be of any great use to the mission. More importantly, it seems to me that the ruins and the burn warrant attention. And so, while you are away securing an energy source, I will engage the friends at Garland Ironworks to undertake a complete overhaul of the field generators. We'll need them in good working order for if our plan is to succeed. I trust there are no objections. Have care on the bird. Have care on the step. From what I hear, the Zayla will like fighting with friends as much as foes. Good luck. Just the three of us, then. Very well. Shall we first make first for reunion? Oh. Okay. At least make some progress on that one here. Red Wyvern, by the name of Rathalos. I'm sorry, but you must be mistaken. I have stories of a great wyvern that slumbers in the mountains to the north, but it was not red. Most certainly does not go by that name. Still, if this Rathalos you speak truly exists, such a beast would bring great honor to my tribe. Mark my word. This beast will fall by the blade of an already near. Gargantuan Red Wyvern. I'm sorry, miss, but I'm not overly familiar with the comings and goings of this place. We visit on occasion to do a small bit of business. Perhaps you should speak with the Keston. Though speak is perhaps not the right word, seeing as they do not. At any rate, you'll find none more knowledgeable than what happens in Hasm's Step. Wyvern near Rathalos. Oh dear. Perhaps the story I heard was true. The young man from the Ura clan leading the flock of Zos from down from the mountains. He was making his way to reunion when a fierce wind began to blow. A terrible howling gale which lighted him all but blinded him. To his horror, he soon began to realize that the deafening roar he heard was not the one's making. He claims that I was the great wyvern, which descended from on high to claim several Zos from his flock, disappearing into the sky as quickly as it came. Needless to say, he ran into a reunion with all haste, telling everyone what had happened. But the man is a known liar and a swindler. Who would believe such a tale coming from him? It is a fine feeling to be back. Were it not for our mission, I would like nothing more than to lie on the grass and watch the clouds go by. So this is Yazim's Step. Tales do not do it justice. If you think the view is impressive here, wait till we reach higher ground. Actually, seeing as your first visit, permit me to show you my favorite spot.
I will never tire of this vista. The endless fields, the boundless skies. 'Tis a sight to make a man forget his cares.
Yeah.
But not his purpose, I trust. Might this be a fitting moment to tell us what we are doing here?
Of course. During my time with the mole, I learned some few myths of this land. One goes thus. In the distant past, when all seemed doomed, a wayfaring soul came unto the steppe. Venturing into the northern crag, he received of Nama a sliver of her essence, a shard of the shining moon, and with it clove the tainted land from the earth. The end thus averted, to these fields did the wayfaring soul return, and venturing once more into the northern crag, he buried the shard, and made unto the heavens an offering of blood.
A tainted land cloven from the earth and an offering of blood to the heavens. Azizlar and Dalamud.
That was my thinking, yes.
And you believe that yonder mountains hide an artifact possessed of sufficient power to raise Azizlar up to the heavens? I suppose that might suffice.
Worth a closer look, would you say?
I would.
An intriguing myth, though I wonder how Nama came to be woven into it. An elegant hand, perhaps? From here we shall travel to Mol Ilo. There we may ask Irina about the particulars of the myth, and raise the matter of an alliance with the rules of the steppe. Oh, that's right, I can fight. Duh. This is what I get for having 3 characters in the same area. So that is Serena. Please told me something of the woman. I did not think we would ever have the occasion to meet. Tell me, do you notice anything different about the mole? How they carry themselves? That, my friend, is pride. I do believe that victory in the Nadam meant more to them than I realized. Strange. Amidst the radiance of your beingness is a shadow. I pray it is but an imagination. Where's intriguing? Ian, Sarah, I'm glad of your visit, and the opportunity to welcome you. There is a matter I wish to discuss with them all. It concerns not only the peoples of the steppe, but every land in the Far East. A shard of the shining moon left behind by a wayfaring soul. I need this to protect our lands. I do. My friends and I wish to find the shard and ascertain the extent of its power. Would you tell me more of the place where it lies buried? This northern crag. If that is your wish. In the mountains of the north, there is a cavern called the House of the Crooked Coin. Inside this cavern are pillars of stone that legend holds to be the source of Nama's power. There, I believe you will find what you seek. Ah, yes, I know the place. Just a bit of brisk walking. And what are your thoughts of an alliance? Should the Empire return, our lands will be engulfed in a storm of conflict, whether we will it or not. If we do not stand together, we will fall apart. This I believe with all my heart. However, among the tribes of the steppe, there are those who revere Nama above all else. To them, the pillars are sacred and not to be disturbed. Should you proceed as you propose, such tribes are like to spurn an alliance, prompting others to follow example. That is my concern. But it is by no means certain that the pillars will provide the power you seek. May you risk the ire of the followers of Nama, might you first visit the house of the Crooked King. If all is as you hope, we may consider how to best earn their blessing. I thank you for your counsel. We will do as you suggest. I have no desire to give offense to those with whom I would join hands. Thank you for your understanding. Though a mole may reign over the steppe today, this decision will shape the days to come. We will not force others to war against the will. Nor are we. 100-fold stronger than are they who choose to fight of their own accord. In such a place as the steppe, where myriad tribes exist side by side, it is important to respect each other's ways. And it would be wise indeed to respect the beliefs of those who would gladly rend up body and soul to the Dusk Mother. Serena is quite right. Before we seek permission to use these pillars, we should determine if they are suitable for our purposes. It seems the time has come to put my skills to use. Pray lead the way to the house of the Crooked Queen. Well, it certainly looks powerful. Powerful enough. That you'll have to ask the expert.
Such an abundance of ether.
Are we in luck?
We are. This is an Allagan artifact, most likely built to regulate the flow of ether. I strongly suspect the ancients used it to stem the flow from here to the burn. That would explain how they were able to untether what became Azys La from its surroundings. But were we to throw open the floodgates, the resultant deluge would surely be sufficient to raise our wall. And in restoring the flow, we may also restore life to the wasteland.
What is it?
While the device itself harbors a surfeit of ether, the opposite is true of the surrounding area. An effect of regulation, perhaps. A similar phenomenon seemed to be occurring in Doma. Whatever the explanation, the answer will not reveal itself here. We have seen what we needed to see. Let us return to Mol Ilo.
Well, looks like I was right about the pillars. Now all we need is permission to use them. That was such an abundant source of ether. Should lie undisturbed for millennia. 'Tis a miracle made possible by the stepp's long history of isolation. You found that which you seek then. Great indeed is the Dust Mother's power. If not less will suffice to protect our lands, the blessing of the other tribes must now be sought. Of course, but to which tribes should we appeal? There are many who worship Nama, but none are so fervent in their faith as the Dothal. Their consent shall be the key. The Dothal. Lee spoke of them. Warlike tribe possessed of unique customs and beliefs. My sense of cooperation will not be easily won. Nay, but we war well through your effort. The Dothal fear nothing, death least of all, and our alliance will be greatly strengthened by their presence. Let us go to Dothal Ha, and leave the Hatun, said it. When you meet with the Dothal, I shall send messengers to the other tribes. If Sadu can be swayed, I am certain more will follow. What's this? Oh, a hunter. And a formidable one, looking at that. Have you come to help, then? To hunt the Meowster Rathalos? After seeing the bounty, I couldn't resist. Thank you, miss. Thank you. I knew I was right to post the bill. I'm an apprentice feline hunter, and I've come to this place in search of meowsters. Rathalos, to be precise. But even with 9 lives, I could never slay one on my own. That's why I posted the notice seeking help. The reason why they're often referred to as King of the Skies, after all. Some also call them fire wyverns, on account of their ability to breathe fire. I just feel powerful just thinking about it. Yes, they were exactly like that. Would you believe it's powerful enough to stun the prey? was him. That was Rathalos. Still willing to help, I hope? What a day, what a day. Both a monster and a ferocious hunter to sight. I sure got the cream today. That's right, we seem to be heading northwest, back into the mountains. Oh, before I forget, I never did ask your name. Nice to meet you, sir. Now let's be off. Despite her fondness for battle, Saidu is an astute leader. If we plead our case in earnest, I'm certain she can be persuaded. Great faith gives rise to great strength, for better or worse. Whatever it is that with all horse sacred, we would do well to accord it with all respect. You again. Other matters demand our time, ha. Unless you do, it is battle you seek? Alas, no. Quite the opposite, in fact. Talking, always talking. You say the pillars hold great power? Of course they do. They are the source of Nama's strength. To the Darthal, no place is more sacred, and we will make ash of anyone who would defile it. Though I see this is not your wish. You see the wisdom of our proposition, then. You will join hands with us. I said nothing of joining hands. You wish your will Nama's power to defend these lands, and this I will allow. But for leaving to step to fight the men in the iron, I would have something in return. Namely battle. With you, Han. The Nadam ended ere it began. I would face you again, alone, without distractions. Defeat me, prove yourself the stronger, and you shall have the Dathal as your allies. Surely these are agreeable terms? Well, this is not a wholly unexpected turn of events, though I'd assume I would be the one in the right fight. Alas, the Hadron has made a choice. Shall we dance? Ha! It shall be a battle the steps shall not soon forget. Ah, already my soul burns brighter. Prepare yourself, Han, and await for me outside the hut. I will gather my witnesses and join you in night. Why are you still here? Go, wait for me outside the hut. I will join you soon enough. Let's see here. If that's the trigger, I will take care of the housekeeping real quick. Yep, trigger. So, this. Feels like this is the most useless either raid in the game. But Rathalos is somewhere along that path. I just know it. But I'm afraid you'll have to go without me. As of right now, I'm afraid I'll only slow you down. Before you go, though, I insist you take these with you. When catastrophe strikes, a hunter should never be without mega potions. I don't know if you normally keep medicine on hand to treat your wounds, but I guarantee you've never had anything quite like that. When you and your friends are ready, head on in. You do have friends to help, right? Eight? I thought hunters usually fight in groups of 4. Well, I suppose you know best. Now I'll get myself in position. Oh, that's right. I am going in a slightly different direction. When I was little, I would stride up to Gosetsu, wooden sword in hand, and challenge him. To his credit, he never held back, and I had many a bump and bruise to show for it. Try as I might, I fail to see the logic in this arrangement. I can but conclude there is none. Oh, Stoma. Oh, Stoma.